Why is Far Cry 5 controversial? Okay, I've seen a lot of internet people ask the question, why is Far Cry 5 so controversial? And I'm just going to assume they're not being facetious and just try and give them the best answer I can. Also, quick aside, I'm not actually offended by this game. I've never been a Far Cry fan, and I'm not invested in the series, so I personally really don't care what they do with it. But pretending this wasn't made to pander to a very specific audience and that it wasn't made to cause controversy seems a little silly to me. These games basically market themselves in some kind of controversy or another. The question is, why are some people offended by this game? It's the same reason we're offended over the last game and the one before that. It's a clear misrepresentation of a culture or people. Simple as that. Previous games were accused of being insensitive when portraying unstable parts of the world and portraying them as tribalistic or war-torn. And now they've changed that to a predominantly white cult based in rural America. My personal feelings on the subject? You are more likely to get struck by lightning multiple times in the same day than be caused any real harm by rural Christian cults. And it does seem an extra slap in the face that this is the subject they chose when the West is facing a near weekly slaughters from, another religion of peace, and Christians are the ones being portrayed as bad guys instead. But on the other hand, it's a video game. A video game in a less than realistic series that has made a name for itself by being controversial. This is what they do. And if you weren't upset with the last 15 dumb attention-grabbing stunts these guys have done, why are you upset now? I don't think it's worth getting upset over. I really don't. There are enough real-world issues to deal with that I just don't have the time to get upset every time a game company does something stupid. Now, what does bother me are people who've been screaming about how racist and terrible everything was in the past and all these previous PR stunts they did, and suddenly they go quiet, or worse, start praising this as some sort of progressive statement because the bad guys are Christian white men. People who were screaming that these games take place in Africa and South America makes the games inherently racist, but as soon as the villains are white Americans, that makes it okay? I mean, if people are actually doing that, that's disgusting. That's actual racism. Long story short, if you don't play these games, don't get so offended. Just don't buy them. If you do play these games, don't get offended. Just don't buy it. But if you were offended over every previous game and suddenly think it's okay because the villains are white Christian Americans, go get help. You have a moral deficiency. Racism is evil, and hating a group based solely on their skin color or sex is pretty good indication that you're a dimwit. You know what? And just as a final aside, if you just want to play a game and don't care about controversies in general, have fun. I genuinely hope it's the best in the series so far. God bless.